sing of thee, our alma mater. Our loyalty to thee shall never falter, and though in coming years we shall leave thy portals, our hearts shall yearn for thee, our alma mater.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here to celebrate the 105th commencement of the seniors of Grandview Heights High School. If you would all please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Welcome. My name is Rob Brown, and I am honored to serve as the principal of Grandview Heights High School. On behalf of the Grandview Heights Board of Education, Superintendent Andy Culp, and the faculty, staff, and students of Grandview Heights High School, it is my honor and privilege to welcome you to the 105th commencement ceremony. Today we get to celebrate with 90 seniors who are about to go out into the world and do some amazing things. Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment and acknowledge the difficult situation that we're in, and how sorry I am to our seniors. You all deserve better, and you've earned something better. Right now, people are talking about the class of 2020 as the class who had to quarantine, the class who missed out on important events, the class who had to social distance. But that's only temporary, because it won't take long before this class makes its mark in the world. This class is going to do great things and change the world for the better, and that is what you will be known for. Years from now, when people look back at the class of 2020, they will talk about the accomplishments that you had, and they will say, of course they changed the world for the better. Of course they did. The situation you've endured over the last months of your K-12 education does not define you, and it does not take away from your incredible achievements. You will never be defined by your situations, only how you react to those situations. You were a resilient and strong class before you were all challenged with a very difficult situation. You will come through this even stronger and more resilient. And whatever you encounter, you will know that through the support of your family and friends, as well as some patience and understanding, you will get through anything. And although right now you are sad, disappointed, angry, and likely going through a whole range of emotions, I believe that one day soon, you will look back and notice that being quarantined gave you a chance to have some time for reflection. Maybe you had time to write in a journal or spend time with your family before heading to college. Maybe you learned a little bit about how you learn. Maybe you got to watch movies with your little brother or sister, or gained a new appreciation for the relationships in your life. Maybe you got to learn more about yourselves and discover new interests. Before we move forward in today's ceremony, I would like to take a moment to thank some very important people who have supported our students and the development of this ceremony along the way. Our senior class advisor, Mr. Kevin Richards, who has spent countless hours this year making sure seniors not only had everything they need, but did so in a way that honored traditions and kept the focus on students, even during these unprecedented times. I would also like to take a moment to thank and recognize our commencement speaker, Jenny Britton Bauer, who is the founder and creative officer of Jenny's Ice Cream. We are honored and grateful she agreed to speak with us today. She is a self-described adventurer whose hard work, resilience, and creative spirit allowed her to build a business from the ground up, a business that is now a model for success. And of course, a very special recognition and thank you to the families of our amazing seniors. Because of your support and sacrifice, we have the privilege of providing amazing educational opportunities to students who are passionate, genuine, and hardworking. Speaking of support and sacrifice, I would like to mention the truly special K-12 staff and faculty of Grandview Heights School District. They work tirelessly to ensure students have everything they need to be successful, and I couldn't be prouder to work with a staff who cares so much about our kids. As noted in your program, we have 62 students who will be awarded an honors diploma and 48 who have been inducted into the National Honor Society. I would now like all of those students graduating with honors or in National Honor Society to please stand and be recognized. Yes, I know you're all at home. Stand up anyway. As we take a moment to celebrate achievement, it is clear the class of 2020 has much to celebrate. Academically, 54 students will graduate with a GPA of 4.0 or higher. We are graduating 3 National Merit Commended Scholars and 1 National Merit Finalist. Graduates will be attending colleges as far north as Michigan, as far south as Florida, as far east as Massachusetts, and as far west as California. In addition, our accepted scholarship offers currently total $3,358,353. Truly amazing. We are equally proud of our students who have built their skills and capabilities to the point where they are ready to graduate to the workforce, military, and/or special training immediately. In addition to academics, the class of 2020 has a lot to be proud of athletically. Competing in the Mid-State League, our football team was a state playoff qualifier, and we had 2 MSL Players of the Year in their respective positions, Joey Bertani and Luke Lachey. Our boys soccer team was Division III Central District champions. Girls cross country was a Division III team regional qualifier. For boys cross country, Chris Miller was a 4-time state qualifier. Our boys basketball team won the district championship, and they were regional finalists. This year, they made it all the way to the Elite 8 in the state before the tournament was canceled. Brian Collier was a Division IV Player of the Year, which is truly a remarkable feat. Our girls bowling team was a Division II Central District team qualifier, and Leela Meyer was a bowling state qualifier. In swimming, Annie Volker was an MSL champion in one event, a 4-time state qualifier, and a Grandview Heights High School record holder. Charlie Ferguson was an MSL champ in 2 events, state qualifier, and Grandview Heights High School record holder. Along the way, there were many more athletic achievements, both team and individual, and I could talk for hours about the amazing accomplishments that I witnessed firsthand on our athletic fields. However, as I begin to establish a theme for today, it was our students who represented themselves, our school, our district, our community, the way they represented themselves that was truly impressive to me. Their character and leadership was every bit as inspiring as their athletic statistics. They supported their underclassmen, and on multiple occasions this year, I received notification of individual students who received a sportsmanship nomination, which was submitted by game officials. Also, during their 4-year involvement in the performing arts, the vocal music members of the class of 2020 successfully and consistently demonstrated outstanding efforts, helping to sustain the record of the Grandview Singers being awarded an overall superior rating at state large group OMEA events, now 15 years and counting. Before the school closed, the Grandview Singers were days away from performing their first ever AA class entry, which is the highest challenge possible at that event. The work ethic, talents, and determination of this year's class of vocalists largely made it possible for the ensemble to read and perform AA level music. They contributed to the successful performances of The Music Man, Mamma Mia, Shrek, Into the Woods, She Kills Monsters, The Laramie Project, and several other notable stage productions and music concerts. As I reflect on the year as a whole, I believe I can summarize why I am so proud of our senior class by telling you about a conversation I had during my first week as the principal of Grandview Heights High School. That summer, the class of 2020 was going into 11th grade. I was moving my stuff into my office when a student popped in to say hi. I was so excited because I couldn't wait to meet students and tell them that I was going to be there for whatever they needed, that I will do whatever I can to help them succeed, that this school is a place where they will feel welcomed and supported. Before I could say anything, this student welcomed me and said, "Mr. Brown, I am here for whatever you need. I will do whatever I can to help you be successful. This is a place where you will feel welcomed and supported." My first thought was, eyes on your own paper. Actually, my first thought was, what a special student. That student is special, But what I came to discover is this was not an isolated incident, rather an example of what this class stands for and how they help others. Seniors, as you begin your journey beyond these walls, keep doing what you do best, and that is taking care of one another. At this time, I would like to welcome Emmeline Kakura to the stage, who is our senior class vice president.
Good afternoon. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the members of the Grandview Heights Schools Board of Education. Ms. Emily Gephardt, Mr. Kevin Gousset, Ms. Molly Wasmuth, Vice President Mr. Eric Bodie, President Mr. Jesse Truitt. I would also like to introduce our Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Jamie Lusher. I would like to now introduce the Superintendent of the Grandview Heights Schools, Mr. Andy Culp.
Thank you, Emmeline. Good afternoon. On behalf of Grandview Heights Schools Board of Education and our entire district staff, I welcome each of you to the 105th commencement ceremony. It has been a distinct honor and privilege to serve as your superintendent the past 6 years. I would be remiss not to acknowledge this unique time and unique commencement ceremony. I thank our graduates and their families for their grace, their flexibility, and support as we navigate this unprecedented time together. Relative to size of most other districts, I, as your superintendent for the past 6 years, have had the opportunity to get to know many of you. Due to the location of my office in the freshman hallway, I have the unique opportunity to interact with our graduates on their very first day of high school. I hope that each of you know how much I treasure the relationships we have formed and how much it means to me to have been a small part of your schooling experience. I could not be more proud of each and every one of you, and I know that your future is brighter than ever. Graduates, this is your moment, your victory, your great achievement. It is the reward for the hard work and enthusiasm that you have invested in your education for the past 13 years. Your individual and collective achievements give meaning to our work here at Grandview Heights Schools. I want to take this opportunity to thank all of our educators, staff members, and coaches who have provided you with many phenomenal experiences, both inside and outside of the classroom, and on the playing field and the courts. Whether you realize it or not, now, each and every one of these experiences have had a significant impact on you in some ways. I also want to thank the support staff that has helped give you the best school environment possible to support your learning opportunities. The Grandview Heights Board of Education believes that your diploma is a symbol that signifies academic excellence and personal achievement of the highest order. You join a tradition of excellence which started with our first Grandview Heights high school graduating class in 1915. Because we believe in you and need you to sustain our future, a significant amount of resources have been invested in each of you. Your parents have invested even more. Take the time, graduates, to express your gratitude for your parents, your grandparents, and other family members for their support of you through these many years. Physician and poet Oliver Wendell Holmes said, "What lies behind us and what lies ahead of us are insignificant compared to what lies within us." These are days of tremendous change in the world, and our ability to manage these changes, be adaptive, flexible, and create new structures and systems closely correlates to our levels of knowledge and education and ultimately our success. The importance of and impact of your personal effort in reaching this milestone during this time should not be underestimated. As high school graduates, you have completed the first crucial step towards realizing your career goals. The opportunities and challenges ahead demand skilled and well-informed minds, which you as graduates of Grandview Heights High School have an excellent foundation from which to launch your life's journey. I recently came across an article written by David Brooks, a professor at Yale University, as well as an op-ed columnist for the New York Times and commentator on the PBS NewsHour, NPR's All Things Considered, and NBC's Meet the Press. The article is entitled Eulogy versus Resume Virtues. In the article, he writes, about once a month I run across a person who radiates inner light. These people can be in any walk of life. They seem deeply good. They listen well. They make you feel funny and valued. You often catch them looking after other people, and as they do so, their laugh is musical and their manner is infused with gratitude. They are not thinking about what wonderful work they are doing. They are not thinking about themselves at all. When I meet such a person, it brightens my whole day, but I confess I often have a sadder thought. It occurs to me that I have achieved decent level of career success, but I have not achieved that. I have not achieved that generosity of spirit or that depth of character. It occurred to me that there were two sets of virtues, the resume virtues and the eulogy virtues. The resume virtues are the skills you bring to the marketplace. The eulogy virtues are the ones that are talked about at your funeral. Whether you were kind, brave, honest, or faithful. My charge to each of you is to work to inspire to accomplish both, but never lose sight of the importance and value of the eulogy virtues as it relates to each of you, as it will serve you well both short and long term. The future is always uncertain and difficult to predict. What I can predict, however, is that each of you will face successes, challenges, and yes, even failures. Remember who you are and what you believe. Remember where you came from and what you stand for. Each of you possesses a strong moral compass, and they all read true. What lies within us and each of you will determine each of your success. Believe in yourself and what you can and what you will do. Each of you in this graduating class made so many feel valued, a part of something bigger than oneself. In victory and defeat, this class has always conducted themselves with the utmost respect and integrity. In the classroom and out of the classroom, your leadership in academics, athletics, and the arts has established high expectations for the classes that will follow. In addition, and more importantly, you are truly a terrific group of young women and young men. Each of you is polite, well-spoken, intellectually curious, caring, interested in helping others, and driven to do good in all areas of your life. I thank you for choosing to be the best you can be. It is because of the great character of this class that I believe your future is promising. And in turn, and because you have a commitment to help others, our future is promising as well. And although I share this quote often, I am compelled to repeat it again by this well-known poet, singer, and civil rights activist, Maya Angelou. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Congratulations to the 105th graduating class of this great historic institution that is Grandview Heights Schools. I wish you all the very best. Thank you.
I am honored to introduce the first of our two student speakers today. Please join me in welcoming Miss Maya Hansel.
Grandview Heights High School Class of 2020. Families and friends watching through screens. Faculty and staff holding back tears. We know that this is not an ideal situation. No one stood before us many years ago and told us that the class of 2020 would graduate in quite possibly the most unique fashion. But here we are, uniting digitally. I believe that that phrase has been very important throughout this global pandemic, uniting digitally. Our communities could have been torn apart, but instead, we continue to support and come together even when we are apart. Our dedication to our fellow members of this community is growing stronger with every challenge we face. When I walked into Grandview Heights High School for freshman orientation the summer before our first year, I was astounded by the essence of Bobcat pride that filled the halls around me. We toured the school, and around every corner, you felt a sense of community and unification. The student leaders embodied the same sense of pride as the staff and the walls that held them all in. It was an overwhelming sensation of belonging, and every kid on that tour was sure to be PTBB. Our true Bobcat pride was seated and would only grow from there. We would go on to form bonds with each other to continue to strengthen our passions and drive. Freshman year was undoubtedly the best year of high school. Not. To fill you in if you're someone who is feeling a bit confused and out of the loop, freshman year is an interesting time of finding your fit in the school. We are often told to find the spot where we belong, but no one belongs in one specific spot in Grandview. There isn't a mold that we are expected to fit into. We have been given the opportunity by our strengthened community to form a spot where we and others belong. We find truly fascinating ways to make ourselves belong while still being allowed to change and travel. The class of 2020 really took this one to heart. From starting clubs, programs, and service projects, to forming a class that allows others to enter and feel welcomed and respected, we have really done it all. As we went through high school, we were faced with numerous challenges. From that one year that everyone's grades slipped just a little bit, you know what year that was for you, to losses on the sports field, we were challenged tirelessly. When senior year began, it was implied that once you got into college, you get to coast the rest of the way through. Whether that's off of a few fellow classmates, the help of Google looking up the answers to your AP exam questions, or maybe even your older siblings' notes, seniors were supposed to find the easy way out. Seniors were supposed to find the easy way through with minimal effort. Sorry, senior teachers. We weren't really supposed to get too many challenges thrown our way after we had been accepted into the next leg of our journey. Well, it wasn't long after submitting our applications that our challenges began again. We were faced with many inconveniences that at the time felt drastic, but our perspective now tells us otherwise. From loss of parking spots, to watching our grades slip, and even the fire evacuations when the construction set the alarms off. None of these glitches in our perfect senior year could foretell the events that would come mid-March. When the indefinite postponements began, our class sat back with our fingers crossed to enjoy the extended spring break. We held our breaths as we stared at screens awaiting the next school closure. Many of us begged and pleaded to go back to school. Our homes were filled with tears and loss of motivation as one milestone after the next was canceled or moved online. We could have sat back and ignored the Monday videos from Mr. McCarthy as he lived out his dreams of being a Saturday Night Live star. We could have ignored the emails sent out 3 times a day for 6 different events. It would have been so easy for our class to sit back and coast through like we thought we would. However, this is the Grandview Heights High School class of 2020, and we don't take the easy route. The graduates that walk across your screen today chose to allow their Bobcat pride to take over and remind them that unity makes us stronger. As the cast of undoubtedly the best movie taught us, we are all in this together. We stand for community, unity, leadership, dedication, and most importantly, Bobcat pride. The incredible graduates you see today are moving on to the next leg of their journey. We disperse in order to take our knowledge, passions, and dedication and share them with our next communities. My fellow graduates, I address you and ask you to take a few things to heart before you begin the next leg of your journey. First, thank your parents and your support system, as well as your administrators. They have wonderful advice due to their age, wisdom. Second, advocate for the things you love. Speak out and speak up. Third and final, form community wherever you go. Find a way to bring people together. Form your sense of pride in all that you do. Always be PTBB. I leave you today with a quote from the wonderful Michelle Obama. Our greatness comes when we appreciate others' strengths, when we learn from each other, when we lean on each other. We have been supporting and leaning on each other for so many years now, but the time has come to begin the new journey. But this time, we part to begin this journey. Grandview Heights High School Class of 2020. Congratulations. Greatness is just around the corner.
Thank you, Maya. And now it is my privilege to welcome our second student speaker, Miss Izzy Evans.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. I first want to start with a quote from Ariana Huffington that seems particularly relevant due to our current situation. In life, the things that go wrong are often the very things that lead to other things going right. We are the class of 2020. We are brought into this world in the aftermath of 9/11, and we are graduating in the middle of a pandemic. And not many people can say they graduated this way, that's for sure. Going through this has been no easy feat, but our resilience during this time has shown that we can make it through anything. This class hasn't let these unfortunate circumstances stop us. Whether it's our artists working on their projects and finding new inspiration, Matter Taylor Lawn Care firing up their mowers for a spring season, students like Leela, Megan, and Liz going over to Heart to Serve, Emma making masks, or even every single boy in our grade not letting their Xbox careers go down the drain because we've all seen you playing during our virtual classes. Today is proof that our hard work has not gone to waste, and today is proof that our perseverance and dedication was worth something. Many of us have been in the Grandview school system since kindergarten. On August 28th of 2007, we walked up the stairs to Stevenson all wide-eyed, and it was the first day of this incredible journey. Through these years, I've seen everyone grow, from forming some of the strongest bonded groups I've seen, like RBG, BYB, and Troops, and more. Selling soda for a profit to programming games in Mr. Johnson's room, riding around on bikes and scooters to being voted worst drivers, drawing stick figures to painting murals for our walls, or walking in 15 minutes early to walking in 15 minutes late. We're all growing into the most accurate versions of ourselves. Every student in the class of 2020 is resilient and has let nothing get in our way of reaching our goals. We've devoted ourselves to our passions, as different as they may be, and this class is the most dedicated that I know. From the first team working late nights to finish their robot, the football team waking up early to train, musical and play cast working long days to perfect their shows, soccer teams doing two-a-days, students doing independent studies with Mr. Rummer and Miss Kelsey, or the Green Dot ambassadors training to bring positivity to the hallways. The senior leadership and dedication in our school system is undeniable and unmatched. We come together, starting with running around playing capture the flag in Wyman Woods, to supporting each other at our sporting events, or coming together in the final minutes to finish a homecoming hallway. The class of 2020 shows up, and we get things done no matter what. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention how we did in fact win homecoming hallway decorating as freshmen. We are resilient. None of us imagined our senior year ending the way it did. We worked so hard for 12 years just to miss out on the best 3 months. It's upsetting to say the least, but look at where we are now. Just as Ariana Huffington said, the things that go wrong often lead to other things going right. I stand here knowing that this next chapter of our lives is going to be one for the books, just as these last 4 years have been. In this class, we have future engineers, artists, lawyers, doctors, business leaders, scientists, architects, biologists, and just about anything else you could think of. The future is full of so many unknowns. It's scary, nerve-wracking, exciting, and maybe a little bit sad all at the same time. But one thing I do know for sure is that this class is more than ready for the new challenge. Grandview has provided us the foundation we need from which to grow from, and I know come fall we are already going to be changing this world. Some are heading out west to Iowa, Colorado, and California, south to Florida and Louisiana, up north to Michigan and Massachusetts, and others are staying close in the Midwest in Ohio, Indiana, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. We may spread all across this country, but we're going to be walking towards our challenges with arms connected. This is a weird time for everyone. The people you're going to meet in your future are going to need you just as you have needed others during this time. I urge you to take everything you've learned from growing up here, take your experiences and use it. Use it to be a good friend, classmate, teammate, roommate, and colleague. Be someone that constantly shows up in a time of need. Go out and build communities just as you have built one here. Now, we wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for our teachers, administrators, coaches, families, and friends, and I think I can speak on behalf of all of us when I say thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Moving forward, we must be the people who believe in what Arianna Huffington said. Be on the lookout for the things that are going to be going right after everything has seemingly gone wrong. Find the silver lining, be your resilient, strong selves, and enjoy this next chapter of our lives. So to you, the class of 2020, I wish you the best of luck. I can't wait to see all you do and can't wait to see the changes you all bring. Thank you.
It is now my great honor to introduce our senior class president, Miss Emma Hall.
Good afternoon. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker for today's commencement ceremony. Although many of you know Jenny Britton Bauer as Jenny and her incredible ice cream, there is so much more to her success than the unique and succulent flavors that we all love. The trials and tribulations that Jenny has traversed to get where she is today are extraordinary. The path that she has traveled has shown great courage, belief in oneself, and determination. Jenny is not only a self-made success in the ice cream industry, but she is also an acclaimed author with credit for a title on the New York Times bestseller list. Her creativity, passion, and relentless pursuit of making the highest quality business has won her numerous awards, not only in the ice cream and dessert industry, but also in the business community. It is my honor to introduce the creator of our favorite dessert, not only in Columbus, but more specifically here in Grandview, Jenny Britton Bauer.
Thank you, Emma. First of all, I don't have the chance to speak directly to this many Grandview residents at one time very often, so I want to take this moment to express my gratitude for your support over all these years. We opened our Grandview Avenue store in 2006, and it was our first store outside of the North Market, and we were terrified. But through your support, we gained the experience and confidence to spread our wings broadly, so thank you. Your support has meant so much to us. Graduates, in 2006, when I was opening our first store outside of the market, and I was beginning to spread my wings, you were preschoolers beginning to spread your wings too. And look at how far we've come. Because we couldn't be in person today, I asked Mr. Brown if there were photographs that I could see of your class, just to look at your faces. And he sent me photographs and so much more. I got to look at each of you, read many stories about this class, and what can I say? I'm so proud of you. You truly are dreamers. You are kind-hearted, you're team players, you're creative and independent and community-spirited. You are not just full of great ideas, but even more important, you are the kind of people who act on your ideas, and that is everything. You fill this community with so much pride and hope, and I'm honored to be here in celebration of you today. Parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, and other supporters, we're celebrating all of you today too. None of us can do it alone. Principal Brown, teachers, coaches, counselors, and other members of Team GHS, I know that you take particular pride in this class, as you should. Their achievements are not small, in large part due to your commitment as educators and champions. I was so excited when Mr. Brown asked me to be your speaker this year that I forgot to tell him that I might actually not be the best speaker, as I'm kind of famous in my circles for never having done homework between kindergarten and 12th grade. Like, not even once. I hear that your one flaw was that you have a tardiness problem. Well, I'm pretty sure that I would have been on Mrs. Berlin's blacklist too, both for tardiness and unexcused absences. But for some reason, I did well on tests, and between that and summer school, I squeaked by, got my diploma, and Bob's your uncle. I felt like I had won the lottery that day. The truth is, school was hard for me. I was very shy, and public speaking of any kind, was difficult for me for most of my life. It's something I've had to work hard to overcome. I moved almost every year growing up, and I never had a friend longer than that. The first time I ever raised my hand in class was the autumn of my junior year in high school. A few weeks before, during summer break, I was stopped in my tracks in my living room by the three most powerful, most inspiring, most activating words I've ever heard in my life to this day. Nike had just released a new ad on television, and though I wasn't an athlete by any stretch of the term, the words hit me like a bolt of lightning. Just do it. So I went to school that year feeling activated. We were reading Arthur Miller's The Crucible in Dr. Anderson's literature class, and I had a question. So I raised my hand, I was called on, and I asked a question out loud voluntarily for the first time in my entire life. That simple pivot was a tiny step toward my future. And since then, I have literally been just doing it. Every single day. Through every obstacle, every crisis, and every triumph, I push past to find the next step forward. I don't let setbacks knock me out, and I don't rest on my last achievement, and I don't let fear stop me. At the time, of course, I could not have known that 5 years later I would work up the courage to walk out of class at The Ohio State University to start my first prototype ice cream shop. Like so many other things in life, it would be a humiliating failure on the outside, but the lessons that I learned doing it were priceless. It's the foundation of everything that Jenny's does to this day. So, I have been given the wonderful honor of being your commencement speaker in a really interesting, really complex, sometimes scary, sometimes hopeful, sometimes sad, sometimes exciting, exhilarating, exhausting, and topsy-turvy year. And I thought about what I could say that hasn't been said a million times already. And I came to the conclusion that some things are said 1,000,001 times because they're important. Those kinds of messages are never more important than right now. So above anything that I tell you today, I want you to know one thing. You are entering a world full of love, full of people who are motivated by the power of love and hope to work as hard as they can in whatever way they know how and with whatever resources they've got to make the world better for all of us and for the future. Before the pandemic, I had a unique vantage point that very few people have ever had. For years, I have seen our country up close and personal. And it's a very different place to me than what you might see in the news or on social media. Normally, I'm out on the road almost constantly, visiting our shops, working alongside our teams, listening to people, or just exploring. I seek out and meet dozens of people daily, sometimes hundreds. I have had the privilege of meeting some of the most incredible thinkers, dreamers, and doers in America. Some have become my close friends. Artists, beekeepers, designers of indie fashion, streetwear, t-shirts or shoes, surfers and skateboarders, croissant makers, Flower farmers, scientists and coders, authors and podcasters, even presidential candidates and Grammy Award-winning musicians. And every single one of them is motivated in their own unique way by love. Not money, cars, homes, clothes, or fame. And that's why they're so good at their work. There's a sort of fizziness, I think, that exists. It's like an energy between people in the nuances of body expression, and body language that you can't read over social media or in a text or Zoom or FaceTime, and I thrive off of it. It's why I love serving people ice cream and why I do what I do. I love to share a moment in person with someone who has a different point of view or perspective or life experience from my own, and work to find our place of commonality. Sometimes it's just ice cream. But talking to strangers wasn't always easy for me. I got my first real job when I was 15. An ice cream shop opened up down the street from where I lived, and though I was really shy and really reserved, I wanted that job more than anything. When opening day came, I was really nervous, and my mother could see me shaking with anxiety. And she said to me, "Did you know that Meryl Streep is shy? The great actress, she's shy, she's introverted." And no, I did not know that. But as I walked to work that day, I thought a little bit about it. And I thought, well, if Meryl Streep can do what she does in front of people, then I can serve ice cream. So I decided to put on a character, like an actor. My role was the greatest ice cream scooper in the world. And I thought a lot about what that meant as I walked. And over the next few weeks after we opened, each day I went to work, I stood up straight, centered myself, took some deep breaths, and I got into character. And what I found was that when I took the emphasis off of me and put it on someone else with the idea to make them feel good, to make them feel welcomed, to make them feel loved, I felt better too. Not just better, full of joy. I felt more like me. I felt at ease for the first time in my life, and I knew that I had found my calling. And I've been at it ever since, sharing positivity, connection, and love with the world, hearing people's stories and retelling them through ice cream. Recently, we released a new flavor. It's called Sunshine, and it tells a story of a young woman I met in Houston who's working to remove stigmas from mental health, and of Maggie Smith, a preeminent American poet who lives right here in Columbus and who wrote a powerful poem inspired by the flavor's metaphor of resilience. The flavor is gray in color, like a storm cloud, but it tastes like sunshine. The message is that there's sunshine behind every dark cloud. Love and human connection is the most powerful force in the universe. It's stronger than viruses, stronger than armies, stronger than governments, borders, stronger than ignorance, stronger than time even. And it's stronger than you and me. And when you base your life's work on it, it's your superpower. Class of 2020, my wish for you is that you have the power to be the person that you want to be. And that you know the person you're becoming isn't out there somewhere. It's inside of you. It's in your heart. Dreamers, please do not ever limit yourselves or your dreams. You are capable of so much more than you even know. What's more, you're backed by a community that believes in you. We are so proud of you, not just for the GPAs or the trophies, but for who you are, every single one of you. Congratulations.
I will now give our first diploma to our senior class secretary, Amelia Jules Sherbaugh, who will be conferring our diplomas.
Emma Leggett Hall. Margaret Kakura. Charles Robert Ferguson. Samuel Anthony William Emergis. Taylor Judith Bate. Luke Robert Berlin. Alan Christopher Andrew. Titus Coleman Baker. Joseph Vincent Bertani. Claire Elizabeth Ann Bauer. Karis Jalen Brown. Spencer Christian Browning. Emily Yan Yao Bullock. Callista Grace Camper. Kyle Joseph Casey. Brian William Collier. Trey Montgomery Cook. Janie Diane Copeland. Glenn David Cribbs. Alexandra Clara Davis. Darion Alonzo Davis. Ross Jennings Day. Paige Elizabeth De Niro. Elizabeth Paige DeVere. Mara Elizabeth DiCuccio. Dominique Mariah Damiani Doolittle. Patrick Jarrett Drury. Oscar Samuel Dunkel. James Wiley Elliott. Isabel Catherine Evans. Christopher Dwayne Fanroy. Daniel Sutherland Field. Jack Arthur Freeman. Taylor Ann Foltz. Olivia Grace Gamble. Hallie Margaret Gibson Giorski. Aiden Thomas Goldsby. Autumn Christine Grant. Brian Patrick Gilliland. John Micah Jewel Griffith. Maya Ann Hansel. Spencer Christian Browning. Caden Levi Harris. Sally Hoffmans Curry. Addison Leanne Holcomb. Anna Rose Holiday. Calvin Michael Horning. Richard Charles James. Mary Elizabeth Rice Kaufman. Joshua Thomas Kyle. Jack Arthur Kessler. Laura Michelle Kowalczyk. Ravi Binton Kumar. Luke Jennings Lachey. Lauren Taylor Leach. Richard Conrad Matter. Ian Stewart McCormick. Elizabeth McDermott. Leela Aisha Meyer. Christopher Clay Miller. Claudette Marie Mowell. Ethan Douglas Page. Ava Marie Raybeck. Jenna Nicole Richards. Joshua Reed Romer. Pilar Ande Price. Grace Elaine Rubin. Georgia Lorraine Ryan. Cameron Snyder. Alexander James Sterniker. Hayden Alexander Talbert. Carter Douglas Taylor. Marissa K. Tosi. Lance Allen Trerez. Elijah Matthew Toulis. Anne Beatrice Volker. Joshua Bruno Voltolini. Leah Janet Voltolini. Luke Robert Wallace. Kayla Marie Ward. Megan Cassina Waters. Devin Elizabeth White. Brian Clark Wood. Aiden Nathaniel Young. David Carl Zimmerman. Sydney Ann Marie Welly. Guglielmo Magarini. Mabel Browning Mattingly.
Graduates, it's time to move your tassels from the right side of your graduation cap to the left side. On behalf of Board President Mr. Jesse Truitt and the entire Grandview Heights Board of Education, I would like to officially certify that the 90 members of the class of 2020 have indeed met all graduation requirements as outlined by the Ohio Department of Education, and they are eligible to receive their high school diplomas. Ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you the Grandview Heights High School class of 2020. And now, please feel free to sing along at home as we play the Grandview Heights alma mater.
Grandview, we sing of thee, our alma mater. Our loyalty to thee shall never falter, and though in coming years we shall leave thy portals, our hearts shall yearn for thee, our alma mater.
I would now like to ask everyone watching this with their loved ones at home to please join me in honoring for the very first time the Grandview Heights High School graduated class of 2020 by giving them a standing ovation and a round of applause as they would exit the auditorium.
Hey everybody, this is Coach Holtman with Buckeye Basketball. I just wanted to say a quick, big congratulations to the 2020 graduating class. I'm sure this is not the ideal or the way that you imagined your graduating day being, but it certainly doesn't take away from the accomplishment. I would encourage and challenge you to have a great attitude, a great approach, and a positive mindset, just like I'm sure you have in these last 10 weeks. That'll really serve you well in your future. Continued success. We wish you well. We're pulling for you. Enjoy your day.
What's up, Grandview Heights class of 2020? This is not your new reality. You're not going to have to do this all the time. You guys, I'm so sorry you're not able to have your graduation in person and with everybody, but let me take that mask off. It's Dean Cain. I used to be a superhero on television, and you may have seen me in I don't know, 150 or some odd other movies or television shows. Anyway, so the graduating class of Grandview Heights High School in Columbus, Ohio. Congratulations to you guys. You've missed out on so much this year because of this COVID-19. Your graduation, the prom, I'm sure. I mean, I can't even imagine, and the sports and the things like that. So it's unprecedented stuff that's happened. Never before in history has this taken place. I'm sorry you guys are the class that have to deal with it. You'll always be a special class because of that. Don't let this discourage you. Do not. Life will get back to normal very soon, and you'll be able to go on and do great things. Good luck to those of you who are headed off to college. I think a lot of schools will be open in the fall. I'm an eternal optimist, so that's the way I'm looking at it. But congratulations to you guys. You know, our hearts goes out. Everybody's hearts go out to you. Tough year to be graduating. But someone's got to do it. It's you guys. And this too shall pass. And good luck in the fall. And I'm hoping schools will be open. Cheers to you.